Isabelle, you were teamed up with Erin Maxwell in the trials for the 2008 games. Mm-hmm. You came up short. The trials were in 2007, and then you two decided to go to the World Championship in 2008. And actually, it was an early Worlds, wasn't it?
Yes, it was in January.
It was in January. So the trials were in the fall of 2007, and you went to the Worlds in 2008. Just going to the Worlds must have been quite a decision after coming up short in the trials.
It was. We were so disappointed with finishing second at the trials because we thought that we had really gotten so much better with all of our preparation leading up to the trials. And we just wanted sort of one last chance to prove to ourselves that we had, in fact, improved over that whole period.
I mean, to go into that event after coming up short, I mean, it must have been, you must have really put yourself in a place in terms of your attitude and your confidence. I mean, you don't win a world championship unless you have certainly those two elements.
Yeah, well, I think it was sort of one of those magical situations where we had nothing to lose and everything to gain because we had already disappointed ourselves and all of our supporters by finishing second, that there was really nothing to lose by going down there. Either we finished not well and people thought, well, hey, they weren't meant to win the trials, go to the games, or we had a chance to redeem ourselves. So we sort of just went down there and went for it. And I think we had about 2.5 months in between the trials and the Worlds and just had a chance to really reflect on the racing decisions that we'd made, the mistakes that we'd made, and how to improve on that. So I think it was just 2.5 months of reflecting on what could have been and how we could do it better and differently.
Had you two always thought about another campaign for 2012?
No. Like, at that point, we were just putting all of our eggs in the 2008 basket, and it was really something that we didn't consider until winning the Worlds in 2008. It was really after doing so well at the Worlds and sort of thinking, like, hey, maybe we could have done this. We could have done really well, and it's worth doing it again.
So you made the decision to campaign again for another quad for 2012, but you also both had real-life activity going on.
Yeah.
Erin is working, you're in school, so for the past 3 years, you two have been juggling that and trying to stay connected to the class and the effort you need to maintain. That balance, I'm sure, was tricky. I suspect staying confident in yourself at events when you're not probably performing at your highest must have been a challenge as well.
No, it was certainly a challenge. Both Erin and I know that we don't want to sail full-time for the rest of our lives. I really respect those that do it and that have that passion, but both of us have always wanted to balance sailing as well as other professions. And so the past 3 years have been really difficult because we've been, both of us, trying to do two things, part-time, that we're competing against individuals that do each of those things full-time. So I always felt like I was shortchanging both school and sailing. So it was hard to go to events knowing that, there was no way that we were set up to win this regatta. But just going there and learning and, setting non-results-oriented goals for ourselves and to really feel that we were progressing as sailors and competitors, staying in touch with the class, but also progressing in our life goals, which has been very important. In those 3 years since the 2008 World Championships, each of us has gotten married, which has been really important to us and a huge source of happiness and support also.
You have fared well, though.
Yeah.
I can't think of too many events that were clunkers.
No.
You guys were always in the hunt, and certainly as a spectator, I knew what you were balancing, and I always thought that you guys were achieving still, but it would seem to be a challenge to make, because confidence and belief in yourself is so huge in this game.
Yeah.
To realize to manage that despite the distractions?
Well, I think a huge source of confidence for us has been sort of thinking back to the last quad, to the 2008 quad. We're sure we didn't win the trials, but then we did win the Worlds. And so just being confident in our preparation model that led to success last time on the international scale, and sort of thinking back to where we were positioned relative to the fleet last time, and just knowing that we're so much closer to the front this time than we were last time. So I think just knowing that we have succeeded in the past, that this model has worked for us, and that we're so much closer to the front than we were before, I think that's been, a tremendous source of confidence for us.
Now I understand you're 2 weeks away from a new reality, though. Yep. A serious, focused push toward through 2011 and the trials selection series that they've got sorted out. That's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it's just, we've been planning for this moment for the past 3 years, and in 2 weeks we get on a plane to go to the Princess Sofia Regatta in Palma de Mallorca, and after that we're sailing full-time essentially, and that's going to be really exciting. And this is the moment that we've been training for, and we're excited to get it done.
And I believe you've said that this is the last Olympics for both of you.
Certainly. Yeah. I love Olympic sailing. Maybe I'll come back as a star skipper in 20 years if it's still around, right? But for now, this is our last push, and we're really excited about it. And after that, it's on to success in other areas and other areas of sailing. Sailing is such a tremendous sport that, I'm looking forward to racing F-18s and cruising on my dad's 36-foot wooden sailboat, frostbiting icks, whatever it is, all that stuff that I haven't had time to do that I love about the sport.